You're not just healing, you're evolving into something untouchable. You've walked through fire they couldn't survive, and now your energy carries the unmistakable scent of freedom. That's why the room shifts when you enter. That's why they pause mid-sentence when you glance their way. It's not arrogance, it's resonance. They feel your power before you say a word, and it terrifies them, because deep down, they know. You don't need their permission to be great anymore. You've become the mirror they can't lie to. You shattered the illusion they built around you. Clean, final, irreversible. The moment it happened, the entire game collapsed. No warning, no dramatic confrontation, just clarity. 1 second, they thought they still had access to your mind, your energy, your empathy. The next, they were locked out for good, and the silence they now sit in, deafening, terrifying, unbearable. They're spinning, confused by your absence in the space where you used to shrink. You stopped responding. You stopped explaining. You stopped performing for people who only showed up to drain you. And without your attention to feed off, they're left starving on the energy of their own regret. You didn't raise your voice. You just stopped lowering your frequency. And that shift has them glitching. They used to dominate the room when you walked in. Now they can't look you in the face without flinching. Because what you carry now isn't compliance, it's sovereignty. You remembered who you were, and it threw everything they built into chaos. Your presence used to be their playground. Now it's their reckoning. They feel it before you even speak. A vibration that sends their survival instincts into overdrive. It's not revenge, it's not anger, it's liberation. And that energy? It rewrites the rules of every room you walk into. They never expected you to stop needing them, to stop seeking validation, to stop playing along. And now that you've disconnected from their illusion, you've become something they can't predict, control, or manipulate. You move with clarity that exposes everything they've tried to hide. You became the mirror they can't escape, the one that reflects every mask they've worn. And the closer they get, the more it burns. They stumble now in your presence, unsure how to present themselves without the power they once stole from you. Because that power, it's back where it belongs. Your calm has replaced their control. Your truth has replaced their tactics. Your laughter, the one they tried to extinguish, now echoes with a force that rattles the structure of their carefully crafted image. It's not revenge, it's resonance, it's your alignment, speaking louder than their schemes. Dear brothers and sisters, may the peace of God fill your hearts today. I come to remind you of a profound truth. Our lives are firmly established in God's divine purpose, untouched by the fleeting worries of this world. As Scripture tells us, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Like the mighty oak whose roots are planted deep in rich soil, our foundation is anchored in God's eternal truth. Every move we make, every stand we take, is upheld by His enduring strength. Today, you have the opportunity to participate in this divine blessing. By clicking the Super Thank You button and offering a gift of $50, you will sow into a harvest that will return to you many times over in God's abundant grace. They lie awake, haunted by your detachment. The same detachment they mock now has them unraveling. They feel the collapse every time they remember they no longer have access to you. And they know it. The version of you they could exploit is gone forever. What remains is untouchable. And they're not just intimidated by it. They're terrified. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54:17. That's not just scripture, that's your receipt. That verse, that's the spiritual law you walk in. That's the vibration encoded in your DNA. You are not just protected, you were commissioned. Born to interrupt cycles, born to stand where others bowed, born to break what never should have been built. See, when the architects of control sat down to draft their blueprints, they didn't account for you. You're the unpredicted spark in their system, the holy glitch, the divine variable. Heaven slipped into the code to make sure their structure would never stand forever. While they were busy building kingdoms on sand, you were being shaped in silence, under pressure, under scrutiny, under estimations. But now you step into rooms and their programming stutters, their illusions stall, their fake personas crash like weak apps under your spiritual operating system. They built this world to make you believe you were ordinary. They counted on your silence, your self-doubt, your need for approval. But you let it all die. You walked out of their boxes without slamming the door. You burned the whole blueprint. And now every time you speak, move, breathe, they feel it. That shift, that unsettling recognition that you don't play by their rules anymore. They wear their confidence like cheap cologne, noticeable, but it fades quick. Yours? Yours is etched in spirit. It's in the way you pause before you speak. It's in the peace you carry that unsettles their chaos. It's in how you make them forget their script. You don't need credentials. You don't need applause. You don't even need to be understood. You are the storm they never predicted and the calm they cannot imitate. You are the one heaven sent when the system got too comfortable. And now they're uncomfortable. And that's exactly how it should be. Because when the divine interrupts the ordinary, it doesn't ask for permission. It just moves. Their worst nightmare isn't your words. It's your unpredictability. They study you like a puzzle, hoping to predict the next piece, but you're already painting a different picture entirely. You are motion in every direction, possibility in human form. They're stuck on step 1 while you're already 10 lifetimes ahead, talking to future timelines like old friends. Your existence is disruption. They're clinging to scripts that no longer apply while you're rewriting the entire language of life. You plant seeds of new realities before breakfast. You architect blueprints of freedom over coffee. You breathe and landscapes shift. While they beg for control, you embody surrender. And that's what makes you unstoppable. You don't wait for green lights. You are the road. You don't ask if it's allowed. You decide if it's aligned. You're not chasing outcomes. You're sculpting experiences from thin air, building moments that shouldn't even be possible under the old rules they still worship. You made peace with uncertainty, and now you dance in what they fear most. Limitlessness. The healing they mocked became your gateway to evolution. That silence they confused for defeat was your metamorphosis chamber. You disappeared, not to escape, but to transform. And what returned from that sacred undoing? Something they'll never be able to decode, not with logic, not with force, not even with imitation. Your journey wasn't just a comeback, it was a dimensional migration. And the version of you they tried to trap no longer exists. You didn't just evolve, you transcended. And now your very breath disrupts their systems. Your authenticity short-circuits their control. And your freedom, that's the sound of everything they built, coming undone. The version of you that once bowed for approval, that once clung to distorted love and conditional acceptance, no longer exists. That chapter wasn't closed, it was obliterated. You didn't just break the pattern, you reduced it to ash. That cycle of seeking validation from wounded architects of dysfunction has ended with finality. No return, no relapse. That identity is a ghost in a timeline you've permanently outgrown. The outdated software running your life, the clock-in, clock-out rhythm of mechanical survival, has been replaced by something transcendent. You don't move on borrowed time anymore. You're synced to a rhythm only the universe understands. While they spiral through artificial deadlines and self-imposed scarcity, you float on alignment. Their systems glitch in your presence because you are no longer compatible with their frequency. You see the mechanics now, the levers, the rigged leashes masquerading as structure. But you're no longer playing along. You've stepped outside the game entirely, and now you're helping dismantle the stage. We're building something else, something forged in collective refusal. We hear the hunger for balance, for dignity, for space to exist without exploitation. And that's why we're here. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a donation of $100 or more, you can actively participate in His divine mission and contribute to His greater plan. Every offering you make reflects the boundless generosity of God, and I trust it will return to you abundantly, far exceeding your hopes. Always remember, His protection and blessing accompany your every step and every act of giving. You are a vital part of His sacred design. You are strong and radiant, steadfast like His mighty rock. Experience God's miracles, feel the rewards of your generosity deep within your soul, and shine your light with boldness and faith. May you be richly blessed, and may the light of the Lord continually guide your journey. This mission is powered by those who get it, who see through the illusion and choose to rise anyway. Those who fund it fuel a movement far larger than themselves. In return, they receive guidance sharpened by clarity, support refined through experience, and access to a field of strategy not found in institutions built to maintain control. And still, no one is left behind. Because while the elite gatekeep resources, we remember the ones left outside. That's why the Wisdom Peak newsletter now flows freely, accessible, open, and alive. All you have to do is step in, reply, share, speak. We're listening. The exchange is sacred, not transactional. If you have energy to give, we welcome it. If not, take what is freely offered. The door doesn't close behind you, it opens wider. And let's not overlook the foundation beneath it all. You didn't patch the wounds passed down through generations. You became the turning point. You didn't just stop the pain. You forged a new legacy from it. What they carried like burdens, you transformed into launch codes. While they recycle trauma, you've built a new lineage coded with liberation. You've rewritten the origin story. And from here, everything changes. What once triggered confusion in you now barely registers as a vibration. You didn't just level up, you evolved into something entirely different, unrecognizable to those still clinging to their illusions. Your aura no longer absorbs static. It rejects interference before it even reaches your field. We're watching this recalibration happen in real time. Neurochemical shifts, energetic upgrades, cellular rewrites. This is not placebo. This is revolution, coded into your being. You didn't get an upgrade, you got a full system rewrite. While they were busy throwing stones, you were quietly converting the rubble into blueprints for something they can't decode. The trap they set, dismantled and atomized, its pieces scattered into frequencies they can't tune into. They're watching in horror as their strategy guide turns obsolete, their control scripts erased mid-sentence. All those psychological tricks, the smoke and mirrors, the gaslight-laced word games, now echo like broken instruments in a theater no one attends. Their illusions don't hold weight anymore. They can't narrate your reality. Every blow they struck, every attempt to siphon your light, only ended up powering your next evolution. They wanted to mold you into something obedient. Instead, they sparked something untamable. Every effort to cage your expansion only triggered quantum momentum. What they called a dead end became a launch station. What they labeled limitation became your portal. Their performance of strength now looks like shadow puppets on a crumbling wall. You're out here turning projections into compost, making gardens from their insults. They miscalculated your capacity. They thought you were in the same game, but you were architecting new realms while they clung to old instructions. You weren't protected. You were untraceable. Their energies can't locate you anymore. Their old tactics, nullified, rendered ineffective by a frequency they didn't even believe existed. You didn't just survive, you cross-pollinated across timelines and found your kin, not by blood, but by resonance. Travelers of the unseen, hackers of the old mind grid, rebels fluent in light codes, you've become a signal that reminds the awakened. We're not just breaking free, we're building entirely new ecosystems outside their maps. This isn't just resistance, it's resonance. When we align, something ancient stirs in the circuitry of the cosmos. What once looked like rebellion is now evolution in motion. We're not screaming to be heard. We're humming at a frequency that distorts their blueprints. Each synchronized shift in awareness cracks the illusions they tried to nail shut. This isn't chaos. It's organized awakening, masked as madness. Our minds speak across oceans without needing a word. When one of us decodes the pattern, the understanding pulses through the entire network. No hierarchy, no central command, just a web of luminous beings refusing to be sectioned off. Their efforts to sow friction only reveal how little they understand coherence. While they try to detour us with fake conflicts, we weave our solidarity into quantum threads. They drafted a future without us, then panicked when we started editing the manuscript. We write new timelines mid-breath. Not through violence, but by existing louder than their control scripts can contain. Our presence alone becomes protest. Every liberated soul multiplies the frequency they can't suppress. What was once whispered prophecy now echoes like thunder in their control chambers. You've become the glitch in their social programming. Your presence destabilizes manipulation attempts before they can form language. Those trained in charm and control find their moves short-circuiting the moment they approach you. What once worked like clockwork for them now fails at ignition. They spend nights rehearsing interactions only to unravel in real time. Your energy no longer asks for permission. It rewrites the terms of engagement. Their polished facades collapse under your unfiltered truth. Without speaking, you broadcast a signal that says, approach only with alignment, and they feel it like gravity. The false confidence they once flaunted calcifies into discomfort in your presence. They don't just feel seen, they feel decoded. You are no longer in their field of play. Your awareness is orbital. They are left gazing up at someone who no longer responds, no longer reacts, no longer remembers them, except as shadows that pass through a light they couldn't handle. Your silence now roars louder than their attempts to provoke. Every ignored attempt at bait is another fracture in their illusion of control. You don't reject them, you outgrow them, and that reality unsettles them more than rage ever could. They can sense it in your stillness. that you are no longer where they last left you, that they can no longer reach you with the tools they once trusted, that something untouchable now guards your energy, and it does not negotiate. The mind you carry isn't just sharp, it slices through pretense like tempered glass through paper. One encounter with you turns their practiced charm into static, their stories unravel into fragments, their masks drop before they even realize you've clocked the whole performance. While they weigh pros and cons about breakfast, you're already blueprinting new futures in ink they've never seen. Comfort bores you. You'd rather explore a maze in the dark than lounge in a padded cell built from predictability. What you speak arrives, not as a wish, as a cosmic signature already confirmed. What others manifest with 10-step plans, you conjure with a glance. You've become the algorithm no one can trace, the timeline they can't intercept. While they're stuck diagnosing yesterday's wounds, you've rewritten the instructions for healing itself. They flinch at your growth because it breaks the illusion of their progress. Every shift in your vibration tears another thread in the fabric of their facade. Adventure doesn't thrill you, it centers you. You've normalized the wild. Reinvention is your default setting. Their outdated passwords don't unlock anything where you live now. The life they swore was years away is already draped around your shoulders like a tailor-made future. You walk like a thesis on freedom. There's no map back to who you used to be because that version has been coded out of existence. You didn't just evolve. You deleted the operating system that made your past constraints possible. Money now answers your frequency, not with hesitation, immediately. Prosperity flows to you, like gravity remembered your name. While they worry over decimals, you count new opportunities by the hour, not the coin. Your heart isn't just healing. It's redesigning the entire architecture of connection. Realignment in love, clarity in attraction, reciprocity replacing pretense. Your glow isn't photogenic, it's seismic. The reach of your presence can't be cropped or filtered. You've outpaced their technology without touching their tools. While they script their brand strategies, you magnetize aligned allies who see your essence without a pitch deck. The wealth pouring into your life arrives so quietly it confuses those who believe noise equals success. They whisper theories in group chats, hoping to decode your rise while secretly praying it's luck. But what you're building isn't temporary, it's legacy-coded in real time. They analyze your photos like encrypted data, squinting at each frame, hoping to spot the source. Their mimicry betrays them. They despise what they can't replicate, trying to copy your essence with tools made of ego and denial. It's not just flattery, it's confession. They've made your evolution their unofficial curriculum. And those digital huddles? Less gossip, more grief counseling. They're not trading jokes, they're trading coping mechanisms. What you've become disturbs them, not because it's unrecognizable, but because it's everything they were warned was impossible. And now, they have to face it daily. Their discomfort isn't rooted in what you possess. It's in the mirror your presence holds up. Every ounce of your overflow reveals where they settled for less. They watch you thrive like it's a sport, tallying your wins in silence, not realizing each celebration reminds them of their refusal to rise. While they chart your next move with shaky hands, you remain uncatchable, rewriting the script mid-air. You move like light, skipping across dimensions, untraceable and uncontainable. Their curses didn't stick. They ricocheted and carved your throne. What they framed as resistance became your propulsion. The version of you they tried to bury has become the legend they now whisper about. In trying to destroy you, They baptized you in the very force they feared. They pushed you past the edges of their understanding, and now cannot reach you with the same maps. Their cages collapsed under the pressure of your expansion. You shattered their expectations without flinching. Let them guess. Let them panic. Movement without warning is the new peace. You're a paradox in motion, softness that shakes foundations. Your joy has turned into their unrest, not because it's loud, but because it isn't asking permission. Every giggle, every grin, every moment you reclaim pleasure without apology burns through the illusion they worshipped. There's no need to explain. Your existence does the work. Their narratives are incompatible with your reality now. You're plugged into a frequency they can't decode, tuned to a knowing that doesn't require validation or consensus. You operate with clarity downloaded in silence while they buffer in confusion. Wealth, love, clarity all flow to you now as if the universe itself follows your lead. You move like mist, ungraspable, uncontainable. They flail, hoping to catch you in outdated logic while you continue to shift the field entirely. Your silence isn't empty. It's dense with data they'll never pass. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a donation of $100 or more, you can actively participate in His divine mission and contribute to His greater plan. Every offering you make reflects the boundless generosity of God, and I trust it will return to you abundantly, far exceeding your hopes. Always remember, His protection and blessing accompany your every step and every act of giving. You are a vital part of His sacred design. You are strong and radiant, steadfast like His mighty rock. Experience God's miracles, feel the rewards of your generosity deep within your soul, and shine your light with boldness and faith. May you be richly blessed, and may the light of the Lord continually guide your journey. While they spin stories in corners, you're building worlds with intention. They flood conversations with noise. You build legacies in whispers. You've made mystery a fortress, and they can't afford the entry fee. Their small talk withers where your truth begins. You never needed to be understood. You needed to be free. And now you are. The moment you severed the need for their applause, the battle ended. You became the portal, the proof, the prototype. Their fear isn't of your power, it's of what it proves they could have become. This isn't about you alone anymore. Every step you take liberates others still tangled in the net. You became the signal for a deeper remembering. We didn't need permission. We only needed a reflection, and you became that. Your rise cracked open the sky. We poured through. We aren't asking. We are reclaiming. You broke cycles that felt ancient. We watched, then followed. Every frequency you activated multiplied into thousands. Now we are everywhere. There is no antidote to what we've become. Not because we are invisible, but because we are undeniable. Your emergence didn't just change your story, it rewrote the collective memory. You dissolved limitations by refusing to inherit them. We don't whisper anymore. We roar in silence. We dance where they stagger. We radiate where they shrink. The chains fell not with explosions, but with laughter. And now they sit in the ruins of the system they built to contain you, wondering why it collapsed the moment you chose to walk. This is not your return. This is your era, and it is permanent. Let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them drown in their questions. You owe no explanations, only evidence, and your entire life is living proof.